everyone, how you doing today? My name's Kirsty, aka Kpop Bookish, and on today's video I'm coming at you with another K-pop book recommendations. If you haven't seen part one to this and you have no idea what I'm talking about, this is a sort of little series that I'll be running throughout the year where I have printed off a whole bunch of my favourite K-pop songs, and I will then draw a song. I then will choose 4 books based off of that song. I go based off the actual song title, then I do the sort of vibes and lyrics of the song and the actual meaning of the song and pick books based off of that. Then I go look at the music video and see if that gives me any more sort of inspiration. And then finally, the 4th thing that I do is I like to just add on a little extra, because another thing as well as K-pop is K-drama, and I just thought it's an opportunity to talk about some of the K-drama that I've watched and recommend a few to you. So if I can think of a K-drama that I have watched that fits the song and the themes and the vibes, I will tell you. So I'm realising there is quite a crossover between people who read books and people who listen to K-pop, and I just thought it's a really cool way of bringing my two things together. So yeah, here are my little cards. If you haven't seen them up until now, I have these. I don't know how well that's going to show. So yeah, I'm just going to do a little shuffle. And our first song of this round is going to be well, I can pick it off the top. Deja Vu by Dreamcatcher. So for this one with Deja Vu, it's obviously the feeling that something has happened before and that things are repeating themselves. So I kind of was linking it with that idea, and so for the title I went with Before the Coffee Gets Cold by Toshikazu Kawaguchi, because the whole premise of this is going back in time to repeat events or to play out events maybe slightly differently, but you still go back to a specific time and place, and I feel like that is kind of deja vu-y, and I feel like it fits. Lyrics and theme of the song. The song is basically saying that I will never let you go, our love is eternal. Or sort of saying, like, even if we live a million lifetimes, I will always find my way back to you, we'll never be separated, we're in it together, that kind of theme. And so I've gone with the Guild Hunter series by Nalini Singh, because multiple pairings in this series have found each other throughout the centuries. There's one pairing in particular in the book that I'm holding up, is the one in particular where there is a kind of resurrection reincarnation thing going on and being reunited after centuries. And again, I feel like there's a bit of a theme of deja vu in the sense of some of these couples repeating their pasts and re-falling in love and finding each other again. And then for the music video, there were multiple things that I could have pulled from this. There was kind of like this church religious theme, there were florals, there was this dining table, there was so much going on. But the bits that I picked up the most were the use of beautiful dresses and women that look like queens and princesses and fae, with the swords and a kind of Spanishy French flair to it. So I thought, you know, swords, princesses, fae, not going down the route that a lot of you might be thinking that I was going to go down, even though that one did cross my mind. But I thought The Enchantment of Ravens by Margaret Rogerson, because we kind of have that. I also did think The Cruel Prince as well, but I've not read the full series, but I feel like that also would fit. But of ones that I've read and enjoyed, I would definitely say An Enchantment of Ravens, because obviously there's the frilly ball gowns, there's the fae aspect, there is a little bit of combat and a little bit of fighting within, and the beautiful sort of painter aesthetic within this I feel fits the music video, so I'm going to go with that. And as for the K-drama, I genuinely, off the top of my head, while I've just been sat here thinking about them, couldn't think of any. So that is one that future me and editing me, if she finds one, is going to post right here for you to see, and hope and pray that I do think of one. The next song is going to be Gasoline by Key. Some of these books are with a pinch of salt and I am reaching, such as Gasoline. Well, gasoline is a propellant and a fuel for fire, so I went quite literal with Girls of Paper and Fire. That is it. Because I was just like, I don't know. So any book with fire in the title or flames or something like that, I would go with. But on my shelf, I just went with Girls of Paper and Fire. For the lyrics and meaning of it, it's talking about being the champion and rising to be the best and propelling yourself through things. I felt like it fit with Fence by C.S. Pacat, because this series is all about a group of young gentlemen who are a group of students who are working as a team to try and become champions at fencing, and it kind of encompasses their struggles and their fight. And I feel like this song and those lyrics where it's like, I'm going to be the champion, I'm going to be the best, kind of reflects that kind of sporting, motor car, racing, those kind of things. But I don't have any kind of racing books, but I will definitely say sporting, and obviously Fence is one that's pretty much the only one that I own. So we went with that. And then for the music video, I'm going with the Plated Prisoner series, because it shows Key in a cage. He's wearing an outfit at one point that looks like he's got these strips of ribbon hanging off him. And towards certainly the end of the music video, everything turns to gold and everything becomes all about gold and brightness. And I was like, it kind of matches. Certainly, I'm not going to say much about why, certainly with like the ribbons, but if you've read the series, you know. But it was just kind of like that idea of being stuck in a cage and then having this outfit with these like strips and then the gold at the end. I was just like, it screams Plated Prisoner to me. I can't not really use it. And again, this is one that for K-drama, I couldn't think of any. So again, editing Kirsty, do your magic please. Song number 3 is Guilty by Taemin. Another member of SHINee, seems to be a theme, and another one that when I first heard this song, I was like, not really a fan. Now, obsessed. And the minute I literally just walk around the house going, just randomly, I'll be like, ooh, you got me Guilty. And it drives me insane, let alone anybody else. So thank you for that. Okay, so the title for this one, the very first thing that came to mind was like lawyers and law and like being guilty and criminals. But then I went down a slightly different route of personal guilt and feeling guilty and doing things you know you shouldn't have done and making decisions that you come to regret. I've gone with Full Metal Alchemist by Hiromu Arakawa, because the boy has a lot of guilt. Let's just say there is a lot of guilt in here. There's a lot of breaking of taboo and breaking the rules, which is criminal activity and punishment. And there's a lot of guilt in both the personal guilt and the you are guilty for doing bad things guilt. And I just feel like this series is full, like guilty should be its catchphrase. For lyrics, it's kind of talking about like poison apple, and it's talking about a love that is dark and twisted and kind of almost manipulative, and it's like saying that the more you're with me, the more I possess you, the more you let go, the more that I will take control of you and you will love me more for that. And it's very twisted and dark, and as much as I hated this book and I don't like recommending it, I will still say it kind of fits with that vibe, and that is Twisted Love by Anna Huang. Then we had the music video, and for this it kind of showed Taemin like a group of young boys and sort of young kids having fun, but he's watching on looking very melancholy, and he like the video just gives me this feeling of self-torment and self-hatred and encapsulating that kind of desperation to wish things were different. And it gave me the idea of Orange by Ichigo Takano, because with this one it is a group of school children who one of them starts to receive letters from her future self begging her to change things so that one of their friends doesn't end up being dead. And I just feel like it kind of encapsulates that feeling of grief, feeling of guilt, wishing things were different, that almost desperate need to change things and make it better. And I feel like that just fits so beautifully with that. And then finally for the K-drama, I am recommending Lawless Lawyer for this one, because again, I'm running with the theme of being guilty. And it's another one where there is an element there of, we have a mobster, we have a corrupt judge, we have a lot of guilt in that sense of illegal goings on, but then we've also got our two main characters where they are both full of guilt and regret of things that they have done in the past, and throughout the series they both end up involved in things and doing things and hurting each other, and they both have that guilty feeling. It's one of those ones again that has that blend that I adore, where it has its really lovely light-hearted funny moments, but then it also has really dark and gritty moments, and it's got that perfect balance of light and dark, and it's just so good. Song number 4 is Growing Pain TxT. This one doesn't have a music video, so what I've done is I have picked 2 that match or go with the lyrics. For this one, the title of just Growing Pains, when you think about growing and growth and pain, I was thinking sort of, teenager. And then I came up with somewhere, I've got a little stack. Came up with the Sunbearer Trials by Aidan Thomas, because Teo is a trans character and he binds himself and by binding he also ends up binding his wings, and there's a lot of talk throughout this about the pain that he goes through because he does bind his wings, and because he goes through and the process of being trans, and it's like going through a second puberty and having even more growing pains to deal with that. And so I feel like this one is not only growing pains as in growing your physical body, but also growing pains as a trans teen, and also going through the growth of the society around him. I just feel like this one is a really good one for that. For the lyrics, these lyrics are talking about pushing through no matter how much the pain hits you. It's all about falling and saying, I'm going to rise up, I'm going to be the greatest, I'm going to push through, I'm going to fight even if my body is battered and broken, I'm still going to keep going. And I'm sorry, but our little man Deku, aka Midoriya from My Hero Academia, dude literally smashes himself into pieces multiple times, yet does he stop? No, he keeps fighting because he is amazing. And those lyrics, I feel like they need to be, if he was a wrestler, that would be the song he came onto, because the boy is broken. As I said, because of not having a music video, I did pick out 2 for this. And the second one that I've chosen, going down this theme of being broken yet still persevering and fighting and continuing, Kaz from Six of Crows, also the title Growing Pains with him with his leg. I felt like that was kind of fitting, but in a way I feel all of the characters in this have that fitting of being broken or going through stuff and just fighting through, and you just deal with it and you just keep going even when you know that you don't want to, or it's, everything's fighting against you. I just feel like it's the perfect vibes for this. And then the K-drama for this one that I've chosen is My Name, because this follows a young woman who, as a teenager, discovered her father is murdered and she ends up embroiled in the world of mobs and gangsters and the mafia. She goes through a lot of shit. She believes that the murderer is someone within the police force, so she becomes a police officer in order to infiltrate and get revenge. This one had me hooked from the first episode, so definitely check that one out. Song number 5, we have Dune by Ateez. This is quite possibly my favourite Ateez song. It's definitely in like top 3 for me. Yeosang, Yuno and Jongho's little combo there destroys me every time, and yes, I love this song so much. As with Growing Pains, this one doesn't have a music video. For most of these songs, it's the first time that I've actually looked up the English translations of the lyrics, and oh boy, it's just verified for me why this is one of my favourite songs. It talks about like angels, demons, heaven, hell, all the stuff that I like to read about. But I'm just skipping ahead of myself, so going back to the song title, there is the obvious, Dune. Obviously, Dune makes me think of deserts and the heat and setting and things like that, so I went with The Alchemist by Paulo Coelho. There is literally like mountains and dunes shown on the cover, and I'm pretty sure that some of this does talk about dunes in some weird metaphorical kind of way. I don't really remember, but you know, I definitely recommend it for the setting and the idea of dunes and sand and stuff like that. And then for the lyrics, like I said, it is talking about like, why am I in all this pain? Why am I going through this? Why is this all repeating itself? When am I ever going to get into heaven? Will I ever be free of this agony and this torment? And at first it kind of was giving me the vibe of Fallen Angels, and I thought of Angel Fall by Susan E., which is all about fallen angels, and it shows one of those angels trying to kind of claw his way back to power, and I felt like it kind of fit. And then the other one that I felt like, certainly one of the characters within this series, I feel that kind of tortured pain of being forced to be evil when he doesn't want to be, and everyone just like assumes that because he's this particular thing, he's this way, and he goes through a lot of pain and growth and development, is Selwyn Kane from Legendborn. And I just felt like the song, and even when I was thinking of the song and listening to it, I was like, I could see that being a perfect song for the soundtrack for this book, because And then I think I'll do 6 for this video, so we'll do one final song. Now, our final song is Bubble by STAYC. I'm sorry, bubble, bubble, bubble. It's such a sickly sweet song, and at first I was like, I dislike this, but after seeing them live, I was like, this is actually really super cute. Going off the title, and purely going off the title, I was like, what the shit? How am I going to pick something for this? Cafe Con Lychee by Emery Lee has bubble tea on the front, and it's set in a cafe, and part of the cafe does boba and bubble teas, and I was just like, bubble. For the lyrics, they're all talking about like, you know, we won't break our bubble, and I've gone with My Brother's Husband by Gengoro Tagame because it's talking about, you know, breaking those stereotypes and removing the stigma of being gay in Japanese society, and just the way that the brother changes his attitudes and mind and the way that his daughter encourages it. I think it really fits, where it's kind of accepting and saying, do you know what? We'll accept whatever. And I felt it was a really good match. And then the final one was the music video. The music video's kind of got this high school, college type setting. It seems very summery, very upbeat. It's all about community and it was all about friendship. And it just gave me some really happy feels. And I was like, it just reflected how I feel every time I read and watch Heartstopper. Yeah, I felt like the bubbly, happy, upbeat vibes. Certainly book one. The themes go a little bit more deep and heavy further on into the series, but certainly that first couple of books, absolutely the music video matches the vibes and the themes in here, and I loved it. Hi. I literally sat down ready to start editing and remembered I forgot the K-drama for Bubble. I was struggling to think of one, and then I was like, I want something really wholesome and cute and fluffy. And then I remembered a K-drama that is all of those things. Not only that, but the whole storyline is centered around art curators, and in particular they are trying to track down this artist's pieces of work. The artist draws bubbles. And I was like, oh my god, it's a K-drama that centers around bubbles and is a cute and wholesome romance. So her private life. She runs a fan site for an idol in her private life, and that's why it's called Her Private Life. But by day she works as I think she's like a deputy curator or something like that, or she is the art curator for a museum, for an art gallery. And yeah, so she is tasked to find these pieces of art by an artist, and it's bubbles. So it fits. So I'm good. I'm going to go back to editing now. So there you go, that is round 2 of recommending you books based off of K-pop songs that I love and adore. Let me know in the comments if you enjoy any of these, and if you have your own recommendations for these particular songs, feel free to recommend away. I really hope you're all good. I hope you've been enjoying this series. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you want to get more content from me, and until next time, bye! Right, okay. I'm sorry, bubble, bubble, bubble. God damn it, it's going to be stuck in my head now.